The high-end supercar segment is a little like Formula One racing. It's a club that doesn't include many Americans. Of the nearly 800 drivers who've ever competed in the series, fewer than 7% have been Americans, and a pitiful number of them have won many races, with the last to do so being Italian-born Mario Andretti in 1978. Perhaps not coincidentally, of all the hyper and supercars available globally, just a meager handful are built here in pickuptruckland, mostly at boutique shops like Hennessey, Scuderia Cameron Glickenhaus, and SSC North America, and mostly at seven-figure prices. Into the breach comes the 2023 Chevrolet Corvette Z06 with Z07 package from the decidedly unboutique house of General Motors, seemingly meeting all the qualifications for membership in the Fraternal Order of Supercars. Should buyers contemplating purchase of an old-world supercar from the likes of McLaren, 8 F1 Constructors' Championships, or Lamborghini, 7 GT3 Championships, also be kicking the tires of the mid-engine Corvette Z06, developed by Corvette Racing, 8 Lemons class wins? To find out, we rounded up a Z06 and two of the hottest new supercars available, the 2022 McLaren 765LT Spider and the 2023 Lamborghini Huracán LP 640-2 Tecnica, and spent a week flogging them in our initiation trials. And let us state right here at the top that these cars enjoy parity on performance, not price, as the cost difference between each is roughly the price of this Corvette. The Corvette Stingray and Z51 are dynamically brilliant, but their pushrod muscle car engine precludes them from supercar consideration. So Chevy tapped its Corvette racing team partners Pratt and Miller for assistance co-developing a road car engine alongside its GTLM engine. Together, they've developed what seemed impossible, a 5.5-liter naturally aspirated flat-plane crankshaft V8 that doesn't shake itself to pieces. Without raising restrictor plates, it churns out 670 horsepower at 8,400 RPM and 460 lb-ft at 6,300 RPM, ranking it as the world's largest and most powerful V8 of this configuration. And prior to road car production, the design survived 3 grueling years of endurance racing. The icing on the cake is its delightful engine bark, which sounds like a Ferrari 458's tenor aria being sung by a barrel-chested baritone, much more supercar than muscle car. Lamborghini's high-strung 5.2-liter V10 produces almost precisely as many horses per liter as the Corvette but fewer lb-ft, so it feels noticeably less torquey. But oh, what a joyful noise those 631 horses and 417 lb-ft make. Extremely exotic and far more mellifluous than most production 10-bangers, think Lexus LFA as opposed to SRT Viper V10. And it makes a lot of it. McLaren's WE 4.0-liter V8 leans on 2 twin-scroll turbos to deliver 56% more horsepower and 80% more torque per liter than the 2 naturally aspirated engines can manage. And as the current top dog offering in McLaren's mid-tier supercar lineup, it produces a whopping 755 horses worth of right-now power and 590 lb-ft torque. Drop the hammer in any corner exit, and the shove against your back feels considerably stronger than that of the free breathers, but the engine sound is vastly less pleasing. Supercar transmission. Combustion-powered supercars mostly use twin-clutch automatic transmissions, and each of these cars puts its own spin on the concept. Lamborghini's Doppia Frizione and McLaren's seamless shift gearbox, both built by Graziano, employ 7 ratios, while the Corvette's Tremec box features 8. That's because the Corvette is aiming for both 0 to 60 miles per hour bragging rights at the low end and quiet cruising with decent highway fuel economy at the top end. Hence, it features the shortest first gear ratio, by 3 to 7%, and the tallest top gear ratio, by 42 to 84%. The Lamborghini gets the closest and most evenly spaced ratios, designed to maximize leverage across the entire speed range and to hit its 200 miles per hour top speed at redline. The Corvette's 8th gear could theoretically hit 370 miles per hour in a vacuum. The McLaren's gearing slots somewhere in between, imperiously disinterested in 60 miles per hour sprinting, comfort, noise, or fuel economy. Each offers automatic and paddle-actuated manual shifting, with paddles mounted to the wheel on the Corvette and 765LT and to the column on the Huracán. The Corvette's automatic shift strategy is most ideally pegged to the drive modes, with track mode being the most aggressive at holding gears or preemptively downshifting, prompting features editor Scott Evans to declare they've cracked the Porsche PDK code. this thing shifts as well as any Porsche I have driven. The McLaren box was nearly as astute and also permits auto shifting in all drive modes. In the Lamborghini's Top Corsa mode, there's no automatic shift option, but at least its shift warning system is brighter and more obvious than the one in the Chevy's head-up display, and it's more comprehensible than the McLaren's 3-segment green-red-blue indicator system. However, Evans found fault with the shift quality of the Lamborghini in Corsa mode, which he likened to a shovel to the back of the head. Chassis and aero. This particular Corvette contending for Supercardom comes fully optioned with the Z07 Ultimate Performance Package, $8,995, which buys slightly stiffer springs, unique tuning of the magnetic ride control suspension, plus carbon ceramic brakes and Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2R tires. Its $11,995 carbon fiber wheels shave about 10 pounds of both unsprung mass and rotational inertia per corner. Finally, there are $10,495 worth of carbon fiber aero enhancements, including a high wing, dive planes, and a more aggressive splitter, diffuser, and ground effects. Note, skinflints can shave $2,000 off both those latter prices with painted instead of visible weave carbon. But the Corvette's structure is still mostly aluminum, and our 3LZ test model is decked out with lots of creature comforts, so it weighs the most of this trio by 216 to 463 pounds. Meanwhile, our Tecnica slots into the rear-drive Lamborghini Huracán lineup between the EVO and STO performance versions, with its suspension softened a bit and its aero downforce and drag reduced slightly relative to the most extreme STO. It shares that model's rear-wheel steering and Bridgestone Potenza race tires, however. The carbon tub McLaren is by far the lightest and most extreme car here, with its titanium exhaust and thinner, lighter glazing paring away precious ounces. The Spider's roof mechanism adds 130 pounds without altering the structural rigidity, but tuning revisions to the Spider's hydraulically cross-linked suspension actually improve the overall behavior of the car, potentially making this the preferable version even if you don't lower the top. The splitter and rear wing create substantial downforce, and the wing flips up nearly vertical when braking for added stability. Brakes are borrowed from the mighty Senna, and lightweight forged alloys are shod in Pirelli P0 Trofeo R tires. There's only one car here that sane adults would contemplate driving for more than an hour, and that's the Corvette. Its tour mode is far and away the quietest and most comfortable by several orders of magnitude. Its comfy seats are heated and cooled, you can hear and enjoy its Bose sound system, and there's room to carry up to 12.6 cubic feet of luggage, or the roof panel plus a carry-on suitcase. The Lamborghini interior looks the most upscale exotic, but the din at highway speeds is, perhaps literally, deafening, and the frunk can barely accommodate a helmet. And comfort was obviously absent on the priorities list for those designing the McLaren. Its seat becomes a borderline torture device about 10 minutes after the lateral G-forces subside. Controls for things like the cruise control and mirror switches are inscrutable. The BMW sound system is hopelessly outmatched by the V8, and the automatic climate control simply isn't. Our week with these three cars suggests the Corvette does indeed have the chops to run with the supercar crowd. We wish its design was a bit less busy and juvenile, and we hope an over-the-air update might improve the brake feel, but the car's dynamics and visceral appeal earn it legit supercar status as far as we're concerned. To wit, it earns a solid second-place finish among these two establishment supercars. So yes, we're crowning the McLaren the superior supercar, owing to its mesospheric performance limits and the ease with which we mere mortals were able to probe them. Now let the Corvette's unofficial Supercar Club initiation ceremonies commence at track days, rallies, and cars and coffee events everywhere.